All right, good thing I didn't hit go live. Oh shit! Time to go. Go live. All right, and we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to You'll Probably Agree. Today, as always, I have John Davies on with me, and we're talking about what I pray is the final filler episode of the Bad Batch. I mean, I know it connects to the spice that Darth Maul sells, but they could have just ran into a Darth Maul or some shit, or like do
We're
something.
drug dealers, man. Bad Batch are officially drug dealers. What's up?
Yeah, they are.
What are you doing? What are you guys doing, Star? What are you doing, Star Wars? What are you guys doing with the series here?
I mean,
Like,
were
yeah,
they?
one
Oh
more
yeah,
filler
like well,
episode
they
and,
just
like,
needed the money.
I mean, not only is it a rescue mission, but it's a rescue mission of the same exact thing twice. Like they fuck up, and then they go back and they fix their fuck up, but they have to go back and pick up the exact same thing that they just. Oh my god, you guys! So you're just running around in circles within one episode. Come on.
Yep. Well, that's what I like to usually call. That's why I call it the intern department episode.
Kinda. I mean, if it's gonna be like this, you really don't need 16 episodes, you guys. Like, for real.
Oh,
In and out. 8 would be sweet, you know, congruent, quick story, a little bit of character development. That's it. Not 12 rescue missions in a 16 episode series. Come on. What are you doing?
it's
What
it's a
What
mess.
are you doing?
I mean, but here's the thing. This is what Dave Filoni always does. He always has. He. What? Hang on. Checking my audio to make sure I'm good. Maybe. Okay, good. We're good. All right. So, but yeah, Dave Filoni, what he always does, although he's not writing this series, like you said, it's like the structure to all of his shows. There's like so much filler, and then there's a couple like kick-ass fucking episodes like towards the end. So I think this is like the last episode where they're gonna be wasting our time. I feel like that's it after this.
And I really hope so.
Yeah, I know, because they did this with. Remember the Mandalorian season 2, the second to last
yeah.
episode. Although it was good television, it was what the fuck? This game's glitching out like crazy. It was just a filler episode that had nothing to do with the overall plot. But then immediately when he had to say goodbye to Grogu and there's that big weepy ending, you know, that was amazing and made me cry, blah, 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 because, you know, whatever. Like, everyone forgot that, like, oh yeah, the episode before that was just like some bullshit. They're like, oh, that was a cool episode. Like, well, we weren't saying that originally. I certainly wasn't. But, yeah, I mean, but I gotta say, still, if you're gonna have these filler episodes, why even write them?
I mean, I know you want to give like the animators and everybody that works on these projects work and whatnot, but let's make it worth it. you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Don't
like,
waste my time, the
Let's not-
audience's time.
yeah, it's like that's awesome that you're paying people to do stuff in the studio and whatever, and you know, they got job security, but let's get some content from them. Like, where's your ghost writing crew that have actually like been fans of the series for a million years, and you know, talk to your friends that like Star Wars. You know,
Yep.
maybe they'll be able to add some stuff to your.
Well,
it's just odd to me that it's just like a bunch of running around in circles for 13 episodes already. Like, seriously.
Yeah, how much of it is filler and how much of it is real content? Because I think the Clone Wars did the same exact shit. Like, I think there was more filler in that show than anything.
Oh, there's so much filler. And that's what I think that, like, where I thought they had, like, quote unquote, I don't want to say learned their lesson, but like gain their focus going forward. You know what I mean? Like, I had hopes after the last episode too. It's like, okay, cool, you know, Crosshair gets finally gets the go ahead to go after his buddies how is he not waiting for them at Sid's? Like, that's who you think's going to be sitting there in the chair, not this random spice dude. Like,
Well,
okay, you're
that's
just stretching it out
misdirection, of
again.
course,
What are you doing?
it's sloppy misdirection. Well,
So sloppy.
here's
It's
the thing. It just,
unnecessary.
I think in the long run, we'll be like, oh, that was a fun episode, blah, 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 because, like, the whole show is about them kind of doing the... Everything's just a fucking Mandalorian now. Everything's like, oh, they go on jobs because they get hired by... Like, Jesus Christ, man. Don't fucking copy what one show does again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
Like, that's what gets me mad. I'm like, I don't want the show to be this. I don't want them taking on jobs for several fucking seasons.
Like, the Mandalorian
Like, just give me
awesome,
one solid season or two.
Do that horseshit, yeah, right? When
Yeah.
you do that crap on the Mandalorian, it's not awesome. You know, there's a handful of episodes that we could do without, but it's like, we get it. You're paying people, and it's practice for going forward to make it badass. But with these animation shows, it's like, I don't want to see I'm not looking forward to another season of 16 episodes of The Bad Batch. I want, like, to wrap it up.
Yep.
Episode 16, hour and a half long movie, good stuff. Maybe a little bit more character development,
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's like they have 3 episodes to, I don't know.
yeah, we really don't know anything about these guys. Yeah. Here's the thing, we don't know anything about them other than, like, that they're like a class in a video game. And now, like, you've had so many episodes where you could develop something about their character, tell us something about them.
Could have explored so much.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but if Bad Batch is just something that's going to be fucking milking the shit out of the Clone Wars with no real purpose or intent, then I'm absolutely not interested in seeing this show.
Pretty much.
But
three episodes left. Let's see if they can kick it up a notch.
Well, they
I
better
was
kick it up
honestly
several.
surprised that this episode was what it was. After seeing the start of the Clone Rebellion in the last episode, like, the last episode was pretty solid. I'll give them that. Rescue at Ryloth, or whatever that one was, episode 13 or episode 12.
Yeah, that was a rescue mission, but we were like, this was actually an important rescue mission that has something to do with the characters.
Yeah, 2 things actually happened in that episode. It's like, okay, cool. The rebellion, like, officially starts, and the clone civil war officially starts. Both of those things happen in that episode. It's like, okay, cool. And they give Crosshair the green light to chase down his buddies, and it's like, okay, let's just drop the ball again for 27 minutes, and
and we also get
side mission.
And we also get Sedula's backstory.
It's like, I'm one for, like, nailing all the side missions I can when I'm playing a video game, because I don't want the main story. But I'm watching a show or watching, like, a series of a show. Like, let's have some content. Like, I don't need side missions. I want, I don't know, exploration. Yeah. Character development. Said the same shit that we've been saying the whole time.
Yeah. It's like, just because it looks like a video game doesn't mean it needs to be written like one. You guys did this with the Clone Wars. If this is some long-term goal where we'll say years from now, oh, that show was awesome, when everyone thought the Clone Wars was lame back then, guess what? No. History is not going to act that way this time around, because you built expectations around that.
And legitimately, you can't, like, go back and, like, rewatch the Clone Wars. Like, once you're through it, like, that's it. Like, you're good. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I was hoping from, like, them going forward with, like, new characters and, like, the Bad Batch. They introduced them in the Clone Wars. Like, cool. Let's focus on it's just been, like, a bunch of nothing. Yep. It's literally just been a bunch of nothing for 13 episodes or whatever. And,
yeah. There's
okay, cool. All right. Whatever. I'm not really going to go back and rewatch this to see stuff that I missed. It's not there.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, when this is gonna give Star Wars a bad name if they do make it this kind of thing. Again, I don't think they do some stupid shit like that, considering the first episode was like an hour and a half long.
First episode was solid.
Yeah, and then after that, the second episode was pretty good, and then Jesus Christ, the one before this was good as well, and there was one other one regarding Crosshair hunting them that was pretty well made, but oh my God! But then when they got shit like this, you know, it's like this is exactly why when you try to tell people check out the Clone Wars, it's cool, and they go that looks stupid, I don't care about that. Like this is exactly the kind of shit like why they say that and they're turned off by it.
Yeah. It's like the character the character progression of Darth Maul is amazing in that show, but it's hard to tell people to watch that show. And like, yeah, no, it's cool. It's actually really awesome. Darth Maul's pretty badass, blah blah blah. But
yeah,
you're gonna make somebody, you know, you're gonna make a friend sit through 7 years of, I don't know, it's hard. But that is the way it is for all TV, though. Very few TV shows. It's like I want to go back and rewatch that, you know.
But there's like a selection in it. I don't know if it's still there, but there was like a selection in the Clone Wars, like on Disney Plus. It said like key episodes or whatever. It was basically like, hey, here are the episodes where shit actually happens. And I don't know if that selection's still there. I think they got rid of it because it looked bad. Because they're like, oh no, our new show we can't do that. But I swear this is knowing there because you said the structure of all those cartoon shows. It was like always the first 2 episodes stuff happens, and then in the middle nothing happens, and then for like the last 2 or 3, like everything happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's where we are right now. The last 3. So
yeah.
Let's see everything happen. All the questions that we had, like where the hell is Fennec? You know, where's Cad Bane? Where's Boba Fett? Like where is everybody? Like, it's just
where's the clone civil war?
Yeah. Like
where's
that.
or the clone rebellion? They say the Civil War, but it'll be a Civil War season 1 and then a Rebellion season 2 if they're good writers. But I'll tell you this. No, I absolutely do not ever want this to be fucking released weekly again.
Oh, just do it all in one shot so we can binge it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, Disney's never going to do that.
Yeah.
They're going to release everything weekly.
Yeah. Did they create that trend, or who did that? I think they did. I think Mandalorian might have done that, and then everyone got pissed off when The Boys did that with Amazon.
I think it's a good move for the most part when you have quality material. You know, the Boys especially, like you need those episodes to sink in. To be if you just blaze through everything, you're like, oh yeah, that was cool. But if you don't, and the bigger ones, you know, Lovecraft Country and like shows like that, like you need that stuff to like sink in for a week, and like you need to think about that and like talk to your friends about that. You can't just like blast through, you know, 8. Oh, that was a cool story. It's like, no, dude, you gotta like slow down, you know, marinate, you know. Not everything has to be, you know, immediate gratification. I need to get to the end of this right now so I can move on to the next one and be semi-disappointed that I watched that so fast, like I did every fucking time. It's like, come on, you guys.
That's the problem. That's why I'm like, just let this be this is a binge show. Like,
this one
straight
should
up.
be a binge show. And if it's like, if there's a bunch of nothing, yeah, dude, just throw it all out there. You know?
Yeah. And then just give me the key episodes. Because I don't know how many seasons they're doing, but I mean, obviously, I don't think they're doing 1. And that's why I like the way American television, with The Mandalorian specifically, even with the filler episodes, it's like British television. Less is more. Don't give me more bullshit. Give me less episodes where things happen.
I mean, that's the American way. It's like, I don't know if I was talking with you about this, but it's like every single franchise that's out there is pretty much garbage except for the first one. Rare occasions like 1 and 2 are solid, but for the most part, every single franchise is junk. Dude, seriously.
Well, Star Wars, hopefully, I'm excited for the live action stuff. This show, I was like, well, if you want to bring people into the cartoon stuff, here's your opportunity. And if you screw it up, you know, fine. You only get the kids and you'll get older people later. But why not try to get both and make, I don't know, more money? You know, Jesus Christ. Because now it just feels way too much like kid shit. Like, yeah, there's like violence and stuff, blah, blah, blah. They killed a family, but you know, they did that also in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, they burned Luke's like aunt and uncle to the ground. And then they murdered younglings in the, you know, fucking Revenge of the Sith. I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot of implied horrors
right.
in Star Wars. You don't actually see anything, but yeah, I mean, you do see like burned corpses and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or if they're
the
bugs, you can squash them and have their blood fly everywhere. It's fine in Star Wars. If they're bugs, it's fine. If it's green, it's okay. I think that's just a censorship thing, actually.
Like the beginning of The Force Awakens, like, kind of takes you off guard. It's like, oh shit, they're going to be brutal. Awesome. You know.
No.
The First Order is there, and they just like murder a whole village. It's like, oh shit, okay, cool. They're going in another direction, and actually, no, they didn't. They just flew the Millennium Falcon through some stuff and gave you a couple one-liners and some blue milk, and it was all the same.
Immediately when they find the Millennium Falcon, the movie just sort of ends. It just becomes straight up fan service. That's when, I think that's literally, you can tell that's when Michael Arndt's screenplay came to a halt, you know? And then the rest of it was just J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan, like, I wrote Empire, I can do whatever, fuck you. And then just, like, put that on the screen. That's exactly what happened, now that I think about it. Because, you know who, if anyone doesn't know, Michael Arndt is the guy who wrote Little Miss Sunshine. That he won an Oscar for. Or was it Toy Story 3? But he wrote both of them. Both fantastic screenplays in their own right. 2 years into... they hire him to write the new Star Wars. And at one point he tells Disney, it's going to take me 2 years to develop this. And they say, well, we need it sooner. There's actually like an interview with Kathleen Kennedy I saw a long time ago. I don't know where. I swear to God, it wasn't like some crazy fever dream. I distinctly remember it. Where she said, where she said, we need it faster. We need it like now. We can't wait 2 years. You know, so they end up deciding, you know, we'll give you story credit, but we're going to let you go. And we'll hire J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan to write it. And Lawrence Kasdan, I was worried. Everyone thought, you know, he was Jesus because he wrote Empire. And I'm like, yeah, but George also created Star Wars. And guess what? Lawrence Kasdan wrote the Han Solo movie and Force Awakens. And you could tell he just did fan service the whole way. Like, they like the blaster. Here's how he got the blaster. Fuck you. There's like a cynicism to it where he's like, I don't care about this crap. Here, this is the shit you like.
Like, here's a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
But you'll enjoy it because it looks nice and, you know, Solo's pretty and, you know, whatever.
Yeah. So that's when Lawrence Kasdan Michael Arndt got fired. If he had 2 years to write that, the only other thing that was in that screenplay that was his was Luke Skywalker's reveal. Except they didn't say like if he spoke or not. It was just established that he was like living in a cave. And I think in the first draft he like went around and just kicked a bunch of ass. Which that's kind of fan servicey, but I think Michael Arndt like just wrote that first, but then he was like, I want to change that. That's kind of too much. And then JJ, I'll admit that I like the ending. Well, but then again, that's JJ Abrams. He likes cliffhangers. And you know, Rian Johnson decided to throw those cliffhangers right off the cliff with the lightsaber. And no, it's not clever because it's fucking, you know, because it subverts your expectations. It's incredibly, this humor lands flat. There's a term for it. It's called bathos. And bathos is something where you insert a bit of humor into a scene where the humor is not supposed to be there. So if someone's on their deathbed and they die, like they fart before they die, you'd be like, that's not supposed to be there. So that's what The Last Jedi's filled with, and that's why it annoys me. It's just people didn't know the name for the term, but that's why it bothers everyone. It's cheap shitty writing, which is surprising from Ryan Johnson because I actually enjoy a lot of his movies, and he directed the best episode of Breaking Bad, but that was just, I don't know what the hell that was. But
it's a huge mess
yeah,
that we thought was getting cleaned up with the Bad Batch, and it doesn't really seem that way. It was like creating more messes. It's like, oh shit, we set the ocean on fire. Let's throw water on it. Let's throw water on it, you guys. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like
Oh
literally what's
no!
happening with the Star Wars franchise right now.
We spilled the
There's some cool
spice.
stuff happening. Oh, what are you guys doing?
I don't know if I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think they're going that direct. I think the Obi-Wan show, again, this show Filoni isn't involved in. Somebody else is. And it shows. You know?
I mean, Boba Fett's the next big thing that's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Live action, right? So
Boba Fett's their action one, and I think Obi-Wan's going to be like Hamlet, hopefully.
Over.
Well, you know what? No, Obi-Wan will be like Hamlet, but inserted with absurd action. You know. Which I'm cool with. And then Boba Fett, yeah, that's just going to be Boba Fett fucking tearing ass for like 6 episodes. And there'll be a lot of filler. But it'll be fun filler because it's fucking, well, I don't know. I'll see how long it can be until I get over Boba Fett knowing he's officially badass. And not just, he doesn't just look cool. I think once that wears off, and then I want to get in the story, it's like, okay, where's this gonna, we're gonna have the same conversation. I mean, every conversation happens with Marvel shows too. Although I think the Marvel shows, for a certain extent, they barely have filler. Like, they mostly don't waste your time.
Yeah. The new ones especially. The older ones, a little bit of filler here and there.
Like, WandaVision was very fillerish.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, a little bit, but it just told its story in its own way. Each of the 3 that we've seen so far have told their stories in their own way, really.
Yeah, they're like when you get an exclusive comic. It's like you get that exclusive comic and only you can, like, and it's like one of these weird things that goes really deep into the lore, but you wouldn't find it on like the main issue.
And that's something that, like, Marvel, like, literally has to do. Like, they have to switch it up. Like, they can't keep doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, they have to. And it's not just about the TV shows. It's like the movies in general. Like, and it's not necessarily about going bigger. They just have to, like, I don't know, change stuff up. Because it is, in a way, it's like starting to get stale. It's like, okay, it's 6 people, they have superpowers, and an hour and a half, 2 hours later, they win. Cool. Switch it up a little bit, and I think they will. And they have been, like, so far with the television chunk of it, they definitely have, especially Loki. Loki's crazy. There's stuff in there that you never would have thought would be anything but like a fan-made movie or something.
Oh yeah.
Alligator Loki. Okay, sure. Yeah, we just buy it. It's like, yeah, cool, whatever.
Well, if they pull off Loki,
everybody's fine with it.
Not Loki. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, go ahead. I'm pretty much done.
I was gonna say, if Marvel pulls this off, getting audiences actually emotionally invested and have good writing towards the multiverse, good lord, you know how much that's going to save Sony's ass?
Yeah.
And Sony has been begging for that because they've wanted. I mean, them and their relationship. It's like they're like a joint custody sort of situation with Spider-Man between Sony and
that whole thing.
Disney. And if this works out, Sony is going to make boatloads of money. Yeah. They're going to make a lot of money.
And if it's the 3 of them in No Way Home, if it's what we all think it's going to be, then I don't know. They're pretty much going to be able to write their own checks, like literally do whatever they want. After that,
Maybe maybe this.
Maybe, oh, I was gonna say like maybe that's like them like literally Disney half fixing the Star Wars problem. It's like we were all bummed out that we never got the Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, and Mark Hamill in the same scene. It's like, how do you not do that when you write a Star Wars sequel movie? Like, come on, you guys.
Yeah.
Come on,
Oh, there's
JJ.
gonna be too much fan service. Like,
Freaking
look how
go.
far you went already.
So sweet. Like, I mean, you Mary Poppins their ass, and you're not gonna throw them all three in the. What are you doing? Come on, you're making up like crazy stuff, and you're not putting the three iconic characters together in a scene.
Yeah.
Or at least for like 5 seconds. A
Yeah.
hug would have been cool. Oh man, but we got we got a droid that was asleep for 40 years or whatever. I was like, what? I'm still like annoyed. I will always be annoyed by.
It's very
So
clear
many
how The
things
Last
with
Jedi got
these.
made. Disney's like, oh no, everyone will call us sellouts because this is a fan service film. So we'll bring Ryan in and he'll make the daring film. And then after that, we'll go with Colin and, he'll finish it out. And then after Ryan made his film and, he didn't see what JJ wrote, and then, or maybe he didn't, he just threw the script over his head. And maybe they fired Colin along the way because they went into panic mode after the whole, oh my God, the creative guy delivered a movie everyone didn't like. That didn't work out. Then they panic and hire JJ. And Jesus Christ, this is a very telling tale of how to, screw up. Not like a franchise, because look, Mandalorian came out like the week afterwards and everybody was still into Star Wars. We're watching The Bad Batch and we're still into Star Wars, so Star Wars ain't going anywhere. But when we watch episodes of shows like this, and they test my patience this much, like, yeah, people like generally get very nervous. Oh my God, I spawned in a bad spot. And when the thing they're, waiting for each week to come out, especially after a long work week and you just need some time to relax. And okay, I can't wait to see this show and see where the story goes, especially since television, how it's written is vastly different than, the way it was, years ago. Like our stories arc far more, like look at Breaking Bad, for instance, they're like that. Jesus Christ, this game is glitchy. So when we like those stories that sort of arc together, and then we get this, like, what are you doing? You're wasting, you're it's just insulting your audience's intelligence is what it's doing. It's like, you're dumb, you like this. And then, but I'm hoping by next week if it's another filler episode, I'll tell you guys what. We'll talk about everything but that episode. We'll just talk about something else that's better and just not even acknowledge it exists.
Hopefully, 14, 15, and 16 or something. I mean, I feel like we've been saying that for 8 episodes in a row now. Like, hopefully the next one is something.
Yeah. It's like there's a little something that happens in each one. A little something. Which, if I'm going to guess, they cram all of it in the last 3 episodes, and we're going to be like, that was so badass, we got mad, before that, but, it worked out. Which I'm hoping they're smart enough to do that. If Filoni's a consultant, he must have learned from the Clone Wars and said, look, if Disney wants X amount of episodes, just fill it up, and then, write the rest later, and they'll forget that you had all this other stuff, because they'll remember the good stuff. I mean, I know, I made the Clone Wars movie, and everyone hated it, and they still hate it, but they kept me on. I stopped filling stuff up. I got to write more of my own stories. And when you get to write your own story, it'll work out. I'm hoping that's what he says to her, or something to that extent. And he's like, I'm here to help you out with that, because I like your script. To Jennifer Corban, I believe her name was, if I remember the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good, but yeah, let's hope next week and the next couple. Let's close up some storylines. You know, stop opening storylines. You know, quit that already. we're almost at the end of the series, and yeah, make me want to see series 2. Like, do something that makes me want to watch your version of Star Wars, like your storytelling.
Yeah.
So far, it's been a whole bunch of the same stuff.
And it better not be some lame ass cliffhanger. I don't like. I'm not saying I want like total closure, but I also don't want a whole lot of nothing to happen with some lame cliffhanger. Like, no, dude. Like you said, their usual path is like the last episode of the season is usually like an hour and a half. So now it better be.
Yeah, an hour and a half of something. Ships flying, blasters shooting.
Yeah. Well, the show
Not
did
like,
open with a narration, you know, from the guy who always war. It's come down to that, you know, that guy. So I'm gonna guess this is hopefully just one story. It's not just like he narrates the first episode and then it just fucking ends, and you're like, wait, what? That's it. All right. But usually that's how Disney does it. Like they don't waste any fucking time when they go to the real episode. I remember that last episode of The Mandalorian. I'm like, man, when are they gonna get it to the good shit? Frame 1, last episode. Boba's ship is being shot at, and they're heading over to rescue the kid. The episode's even called The Rescue. They're like, no, we're not fucking around. Here's the real deal. It's not that last one that you guys will forget how shitty it was. So I'm guessing they'll do that. But I'm just trying to take a deep breath and realize, okay, I don't think it's going to wind up like that in the end. If it does, then yeah, next week we'll just be like,
I have
so what'd
all
you eat for
kinds of
breakfast?
patience for Star Wars, but it's like, I don't
Huh?
have 16 weeks. It's like I have all kinds of patience for cool Star Wars stuff, but I don't have 16 weeks to just for nothing.
No.
Give me some cool stuff here at the end. Like make it worth it.
Yeah, nobody has that kind of time. If people have shit to do.
16 weeks, people.
This isn't like the old. I mean, I'll say this: like during the years of episodic series, you know, that was fine. But this is the Bad Batch is clearly established in the beginning. It's not an episodic series. It's a story with episodic bullshit in between.
Yeah.
which is what I'm thinking. It's, you know, that's usually the thing. Like Mandalorian, I was giving everyone the math. I remember on when I was doing Ian Simmons' podcast. Shout out to Ian at kickingtheseat.com at kickseat. You can check him out on YouTube there as well. I remember he said that like everyone was just kind of like, you know, the show is kind of wasting my time, and are they going to do something in the next episode? And I said, well, if we remember the math correctly, Mandalorian Season 1, you had 3 story episodes and 3 filler. Mandalorian Season 2, we're going to get the same thing. So I think we're going to get that. With every other season of Clone Wars, you got story episodes in the beginning, filler in the middle, story at the end. So I think that's going to be the case here. It just depends on not really how much story, because, you know, that was another discussion we had, is like, it doesn't matter how much story there is or what questions they answer.
Yeah, sorry. I was laughing at my
What,
game.
what really matters
I got
is...
cheated on.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Oh. So what really matters is how good the writing is. And if the writing's really good in the next 3 episodes, great. If you have one more filler episode that's bullshit, that's a problem. If you have 2 that are like 30 really good with story, that's still a problem because you've wasted too much time now. But I don't know how many more ways, like I say, they wasted my time, and I think that they're going to kick it up after this because, well, they have to. You know. But we'll see. Unless that last episode is an hour and a half, then the next episode could be filler. If you want to really bring it down to the wire.
Yeah.
But we'll find out.
Trying.
Yeah, oh yeah, they are. They're good at that. The Clone Wars team is very good at that. But having said that, John, I think we have. Oh yeah, what the hell was this episode even about? We've been complaining the whole time about how bad it is. We didn't even say what happened in it.
Just a double rescue mission. We said it at the beginning. It was a double rescue mission. They
Yeah.
went on a rescue mission to rescue the spice. Then they lost the spice and the spiders, or the flying spiders, and then they had to go back and get the same thing that they lost on the. That's
Yeah.
frustrating.
And it
Frustrating
happened
episode.
because this one guy was like a mob dealer, but he kind of comes off like a nice guy because he has like a cute pet, like iguana
Yeah.
or something. And
He's not
then
all bad.
yeah,
He's probably not all bad. Okay, cool. Yin and yang, we get it.
yeah.
Your Star Wars.
So yeah, essentially this guy has to pay off a debt. He sends the Bad Batch out through the lady who assigns them all their missions. I don't know what her name is. Like the lady from like New Jersey that's an alien. Like, oh, I got a job for you. Don't worry about it, okay? Sugar, Jesus Christ. But she gives the Bad Batch their job. You know, go get the spice for this guy. We think it's going to be Crosshair. It's not Crosshair. We did establish that earlier in our discussion. So then, you know, the guy who's not Crosshair says to the Bad Batch, you know, oh, I'm going to hurt your family unless you help me. So they help
Something
him.
weird. Yeah, it's like
They drop the spice. They come back. They say something went wrong. And then we find out his real employers are these random people who are very dangerous, where if you get deep into Star Wars lore, they work with Darth Maul. And Darth Maul runs the spice operations over in Mandalore. He's basically become a Jedi drug dealer, but he's not a Sith. He basically, you know, became embarrassed and expelled through the Sith. But, you know, that's another awesome story where, you know, you get through the filler in Clone Wars and holy shit, that's some of the best Star Wars you ever fucking see. So once they screw up the job twice, they you know they end up, I think, what, oh yeah, they no, they don't screw it up twice. They screwed up once. They rescue it. I don't even remember what happened because it's so forgettable. And then they the guy says, oh well, we still have our business, and they almost take off the head of the person who we thought was real crime boss, so we found out it was them. So it makes it sound like a lot happened, but really it was just a rescue mission. But that was my long-winded version of the plot. But having said that, are there any theories that you think might prove true now?
they got 2 hours to finish out the series, so hopefully they give us something. Tell
Yeah,
us, tell us something.
yeah.
That's my theory, is that they tell us something.
They really
With the
lower
2
your
hours left.
expectations.
Kinda. I mean, it's been a bunch of nothing going around in circles, and
Yeah.
we'll
I
see.
mean, I don't think they're going to make Omega Phasma. I think Maul's going to come into the last episode now because of the spice thing. You know, I hope they don't do that. It's kind of silly, but then again, they'll probably make it lead into one of their shows or something if they're smart. You know,
Yeah.
or they'll be like, no, it's our cartoon stuff. The live action stuff's live action stuff, which is dumb if they do that. So, yeah, hopefully, I don't know, I guess Darth Maul will be mad at them, and the next episode we'll begin to see, what's their name? Hauser begin the clone rebellion over in Rylac. And I think maybe that's what's going to happen. They're going to start saying, no, we're not going to do this, and then next one they'll kill them. And then if that happens, hey, no harm, no foul. That was amazing. But for right now, oh my God, just fucking release all of it. You're just insulting our intelligence. You know people our age watch this. Anyways, having said that, John, thanks so much for coming on. Where can we find you?
We're on Vimeo. We got 47 episodes of the TV show up there for you. Sinema Obscura, Vimeo, Cinema with an S. Definitely look us up. We got a Spotify channel too. If you want to just listen to some dope ass music. pretty much
Nice.
download Spotify. Again, Sinema Obscura with an S, but yeah, that's us. Come and
And I
check us
think you
out.
guys,
I was gonna say Series 7 is starting pretty soon on Can TV, so if you're in the Chicago area, keep your eyes and ears open for us. Other than that, Mike, thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it, man. It's always fun.
oh yeah, anytime, man. Thanks for coming on. I know you got to roll, so I'll let you get going, and I'm gonna try to kill whatever this tiger thing is. And guys, if you want to check out more of my material, I'm actually gonna try to finish this game out when I'm not